Welcome to Podcrushed. Guess what time it is? It is I don't know if we're going to get to use whatever I said this in before, so I'm going to say it now. A podcopolypse or something. Does that work? It's a podcopolypse. It's the Podcrushed-opolypse. Well, now I've ruined it. Now it's far worse.
Somehow
now I regret it.
Sounds like you're saying it wrong, even though it's not its own word. I'm like, you got it wrong.
I've not rehearsed it, nor will I ever say it again. But every time I said it, it also felt very wrong. Probably because just tonally, it's not reading the room. You know what I mean? It's not really.
That's true.
It's not here and now. But neither are we anymore. We're about to bid you adieu for forever. And that's that. And so we want to keep it short and sweet. It is hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's harder to believe that it'll be short and sweet. I'm not even sure that I have that capacity. But this is a true story. We had this idea for a finale episode that we were gonna follow through with. It was, maybe a little bit complex or complicated or superfluous. It was gratuitous because after we interviewed Leighton, who was supposed to only be part of the finale episode, we thought, guys, what more?
It's too good.
Could we ask for?
It was so good and so meaty that we could make 2 finale episodes out of just our conversation with Leighton.
Not.
We probably won't, but I mean, why add another part?
Right.
Yeah. But what Penn is alluding to is that we were going to do a retrospective episode where we go like flashback to our favorite moments and then flashback to our favorite guest, and then it's Leighton. But she's just so wonderful and funny and charming that she's going to be the whole episode, which I think is what you all probably really want.
And also I think just it was like a good time in the sense that we did reflect meaningfully on this time in a way that we even hadn't before. We were finding something new, and so it's just like, you know what, this is, if anybody listens to this show, and it's not clear that they do, but if anybody does, this is what you came for. So I don't know why. If you want to hear more of us, just listen to older episodes.
The archives.
Have you ever read that children's book where the beaver? It's like Beaver finds a friend or something, and he thinks he has this friend, but he realizes it's his echo. He's thinking, that's us.
Yeah. So where you love her, you need her, you want her from possibly some of her more iconic roles. From the past, one of them probably being Blair Waldorf, the Blair Waldorf, who, she really is in spirit Gossip Girl. I might be Gossip Girl in name, but she is Gossip Girl in spirit and substance. However, currently, she's got a lot going on. I think having something of a renaissance, her own reconnaissance. I'm trying to think of like...
A renaissance.
A renaissance, yeah. Yeah, it works. I want more of her name in there, but it works, yeah.
Yeah.
A Leightonaissance. No, that's worse.
No, that's
I've made it worse.
Podcopolypse.
Leightonaissance, podcopolypse.
Podcopolypse. Oh, it's just so bad. No, okay, so what's not bad? Leighton's current projects, we got a few. So there's Good Cop, Bad Cop, which is a comedy on Prime. She's got Buccaneers, which is like a period drama on Apple. I Love L.A. She's got a recurring arc on there that people love. She did have a lovely cameo on her Bose shows, Nobody Wants This. And she's also going to be in an upcoming rom-com with Jared Padalecki called Guarding Stars. We got into everything left over that you didn't get in our premiere episode. We are returning to whence we came, starting how we finished how we started. I can't remember a time when I wasn't trying to introduce this guest. You're going to love her more than you ever have. We did. Please.
Say it. Say it one more time. You gotta say it.
Please, folks, stick around. Welcome to Podcrushed. We're your hosts. I'm Penn.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Nava. And I think we would have been your middle school besties.
Making our Furbies kiss.
Give me some sugar.
I don't know. Is that weird?
Hug me with tongue.
I don't know. That's... Oh, no. So I want to know, I want some receipts 5 years later.
Yeah.
Embarrassing story.
What is embarrassing? And I think all of being 12 through 28 is like embarrassing, you know? I remember like someone asking me like, how old are you? And I feel like I said I was 13, like I was 13 at the time, and it was like embarrassing to say my age.
Yes.
Yeah, I still feel so connected to my young self. I feel like I get so much now sort of unpacking and examining all those years before, certainly all the way through my 20s, when I finally had the privilege to feel my feelings. I feel really like just so much love for that young person. And so much like, I wish I'd given you so much more space and, I don't know if this is the correct word or this is overused, but grace, you know? And I think there was so much pressure. I felt that, you know, I was the adult sort of figure, like in my upbringing, and everyone else, like kind of, I had to manage them. So I think I didn't get to feel just freedom or feeling my mistakes. And then, you know, I can really only speak for myself, but I think, you know, you probably felt this to some extent, I'm assuming, Penn, but like, you know, early 20s, when you still continue to make childlike mistakes or just really still messing up. I mean, I still do that every day. I mess up in some way. But I think I didn't need to have all the answers, but I thought I did. And so looking back, I think, you know, I just would, I guess, I mean, there's no right or wrong, I guess, is really what it is. And when you're a kid, you're just innocent. And being able to preserve that innocence probably would have been good. But I don't know if that's just now in retrospect. So I don't know.
You know, there's something about the word innocence and childlike. I wonder if the greatest sort of, say, innocence or purity is the sort that is tested and tried and maybe even lost for some time, but then regained, as opposed to, you know, the innocence of a child is just because they have not been exposed to this, that, and the other thing, you know. And obviously, some children are exposed far earlier and whatever, but purity and innocence have these very like saccharine, sort of shallow connotations in our culture because we think it's not mature. And I actually think the greatest sign of maturity is when you are able to retain and regain very specifically those two things, like purity and innocence, but that it's been tested. You know, it's like, it's not because you haven't experienced, it's because you have.
Yeah.
You know, I think our culture is like just obsessed with the most immature things and calling them mature. And I mean, I'm just like, you know, even just
like
smoking and drinking,
or...
smoking and drinking and fucking, actually, those three things, I think it's like, oh my God, are we all 14? Like, come on.
Yeah.
My
and
goodness.
like rebranding it and being like, well, it's a microdose now. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Totally. Well,
my therapist says it's okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your priest, great. Yeah, you're in confessional. Awesome.
Yeah. No, I think like immature is a really sick burn, actually. Like, it does feel good, but you know, I mean, when I'm thinking of like, I mean, like I mentioned the president, I'm sorry to bring it up, but
bring up the president. Like, let's talk about it.
Groundbreaking.
We're on our way out.
I don't like him. And
wait, really?
But I mean, I would say, like, I found myself being like, God, what a little baby, you know, just, you know, in privacy of my home, saying like, and I was like, no, that's giving to, and I'm being like, he's a toddler. And I'm like, actually, that's like not giving enough credit to toddlers. Toddlers are like,
they're developmentally appropriate.
Yeah, well, that, and also, Yeah, and they also are so honest. They don't have a problem looking you in the eyes. You know, sometimes they can be a little mean, but they just don't have a problem with connection, and they're so good at reading other people. It's how they learn to exist in the world. All they're doing all the time is absorbing what the grown-ups are doing and what the big kids are doing and figuring out their place in the world. And I mean, you know, I think losing innocence to some extent actually means losing that. Sort of going, I have to align with what everyone else is telling me to do. And when you watch children playing or, you know, kind of being unstructured and unencumbered, like they figure things out really easily. They know how to like manage with one another and actually get over stuff really quickly. Like even I have a 10-year-old and, you know, it'll be like one little moment with a friend and then they're like, oh no, but I you know, just like easy to make up. And it's not like hair trigger, you know, it's just weirdly being able to like talk about and get through stuff maturely. And as grownups, we don't do that. Yeah. Or they'll be like, that's mine. and they'll take it. You know, a little kid will take something. And it's because it's so important to them and they put so much value on these little things. Like I heard it compared to like if a little child is playing and they're playing with a toy that's just like, I don't know, a ball, and a kid comes up and takes it, you're like, but it's just a ball, you know? And it's like as if someone came up to you and took your like engagement ring off of, and then I'm just taking this. You know, it's like that's how much they value that because they're just in the moment. And who's to say that's not more valuable than a ball? You know, like that they're equal in value because of what we imbue them with. Yeah. I have found myself in recent years being able to, I think I think it's just like maturing, like being able to say how you feel more in the moment. Although I still have a really big problem with saying something in the moment. Like it will be years later and I'm like, oh my God, I could have said that. And like I won't think of it. And now, because I often don't know how to assess situations in the moment. Like it takes me a long time to know what's happening. And particularly, I find that when somebody's not being very nice, I'll like, you know, have some, I mean, this is not the best story, but I'm going to tell it to the world.
Give us your second-rate stories first.
I'm going to tell you the bad ones. I ran into this person that I'd worked with, this agent who I'd had when I was younger, and I left that agency, and it just is what you do. You do sometimes leave an agency or whatever, and I didn't really think that it was like a bad thing, and ultimately it was good for me. But I ran into this person. This was now like 10 years ago, but it had been like over a decade. And I was like, there's no reason why this would be weird. And I walked up to her and I was like, hey. And she goes, oh my God, I just wanted to say, I forgive you. And I was like,
I was 11.
Yeah. and I was like, oh, and
Wow.
I was like, oh, thank you. And then, you know, way later, I was like, oh my God, that was so rude. And like, and then 2 or 3 years later, I'm like washing my hair. I was like, oh, I know what I would have said. And I should have said it. And, you know, and I will tell you what I should have said, which is, oh, really? Oh my gosh, because I've been worried about that all these years. That's and that's how good that sick burn turned out.
What a burn.
It's 3 years and a half.
Leighton, have you ever said something in adulthood? Like you're talking about not saying things and then realizing later, oh, this is what I should have said. But have you ever said something in a moment and then realized, I wish I hadn't said that?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Sophie, have you?
Yeah, of course. But, Leighton actually evaded our embarrassing story question, and I'm trying to nail her down.
I mean, I have like little embarrassments every single day. I'm trying to think of what was really, really embarrassing. I think, I wish my embarrassment also wasn't attached to so much trauma.
That's where, so
That
actually
is the hard
these guys,
part.
my co-hosts think that I evade answering questions. And I'm like, guys, it's just because the ones that come to mind are not.
It's too deep.
They're not,
It's too dark.
Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's like, I got them. They're right here. Oh, trust
Yeah.
me. But they're not easy to laugh about.
Yeah.
Or they're just, kind of just unsavory. But go ahead and tell us yours.
I mean, like thinking about like flubbing lines when there's a lot of like background and traffic holding and stuff like that, like on any project at any moment. Definitely, I think about this one time where I was doing a play. Penn, you came to see the play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had at one point during that run a late entrance. I like couldn't get down the stairs. And it was like, I think, I want to say it was less than 10 seconds.
That's a long time.
And ultimately,
though.
like
nobody. It feels like forever.
Oh, and so this happened so many years ago, and I can't. It still bothers
It's giving
me
you
that
the
this
body
happened.
Makes your skin crawl.
Yeah, yeah. Where I'm like, I think of that once a day. I'm like, oh no, and it's so funny because I'm like, maybe once a week.
Really?
No, I mean, I feel
think
you.
of it often. I think of it often.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just ask what caused the late entrance? Did you?
I think
were
I
you
just like
talking to
couldn't
someone?
get down
Oh.
the stairs, and I don't know. I don't know what was. I honestly don't know. It was just like I was like, oh wait, that's my entrance, and I was standing there like waiting. And there was one other time during that I slipped. There was like baby powder all over the stage so that the wheels of the sets wouldn't squeak and they would like run smoothly. And this was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like way more embarrassing, but I slipped and I kind of like did an embarrassing almost fall. It wasn't
So
like
you
a full-
arrived in the scene like Kramer? You're like,
Yeah, that's actually how I arrived. That is how that kind of that Kramer-like character who was like, I want dignity, and then she falls. But and I heard at least the front row go, oh, they like, and I was like,
That's the worst.
And I thankfully wasn't really hurt or anything, but it was so. That was really embarrassing. But I think the late entrance, I was like, there was somebody on stage sort of like waiting for their cue a little bit. And it was, but then of course, then you're on stage with people who are like, they forget an entire monologue and you just have to go, right. You have to like come
because
up
of
with
that
something.
thing you felt.
Do it for them.
Yeah.
And
By far, the worst part of falling is other people feeling bad for you and trying to help you up, and it's like that to
You go,
me.
can't you just laugh at me, please?
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
laugh. Let's pretend it didn't happen. Yeah.
Much like any actor nearing 40, I have tried a lot of protein bars, a lot of them, so many of them. And I got to tell you that David Protein does things a little differently. Both their gold and bronze bars are all about delivering the most protein for the fewest calories. This is huge. This is huge. If you're into the protein bars, you'll know this is a challenge. And these are also, very critically, they're delicious. This is another challenge if you're into the protein bars. So the David Gold bars are a part of their hero line. 28 grams of protein, just 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar, all with a doughy, indulgent texture. My favorites are the chocolate chip cookie dough and the peanut butter chocolate chunk. They really are, they're so good, I mean, there's a world of protein bars out there. I'm telling you, these two, especially for the macros, the nutrients, so good. The bronze line is a little more decadent, but still packed with protein. You got 20 grams, 150 calories, 0 grams of sugar, again. And these have, the s'mores chocolate crunch has a smooth marshmallow base, layered flavors, chocolate coating. It's unreal. So for me, I don't know if you've ever heard about how many children I have, but I don't get the most sleep and I don't have a lot of time for going to the gym. What I do is a calisthenics workout at home, very simple kind of daily thing. And what I try to do is an hour before or an hour after, I want to get a lot of protein and a David protein bar works for that, especially on a busy day. If I'm moving, I'm shaking, I'm cooking, I'm jiving, shucking and jiving. These bars are so filling. I love that they help me hit my protein goals without any extra sugar or calories. It works for me. Don't just take my word for it. Try it for yourself. David is offering our listeners a special deal. Buy 4 cartons and get the 5th free when you go to davidprotein.com/podcrushed. That's davidprotein.com/podcrushed. And if you prefer to shop in person, David is available at leading retailers nationwide, including Target, Walmart, Kroger, Wegmans, and the Vitamin Shop. Just check out their store locator to find a location near you.
Let me think more about this embarrassing.
We'll bring you back on our second
Okay.
podcast. You know, we'll start a new show.
You have another one,
wait
right?
a couple years.
Yeah,
I had an
shoehorn it in
embarrassing.
somehow.
I shouldn't bring this up now, but this happened like 2 weeks ago. I was going into, so last year I went to an award show with Adam, and he won the award. And I want to cry now thinking about it because I'm just a little crybaby, okay?
That's very
And
sweet.
it was so sweet, and it was like post-fire, and I just felt very like raw and emotional at the time,
Yeah.
obviously. And God, I shouldn't tell this story. It's just so silly. But then like a few weeks ago, I was going to the same award show, and I was like, oh my God, remember when I cried last time? And like I kind of like tears were coming out, and then I walked by Ariana Grande on a red carpet, and if you just like walk by her, it becomes like you're on the internet.
Yeah,
and she said something to me, but I couldn't hear her, and I thought she said, "Hi," like she was saying something to me, and she said, do you know what I'm talking about, or are you just laughing at
I just
me?
love that this is because this is so
I've seen this
how I
video.
feel when I'm surrounded by people who are supposed to be my peers, but I'm like, I don't know any of these.
I don't know. Yeah. No, and I'm setting myself up for an embarrassing moment. Like
Yeah.
this is even embarrassing.
And there's
to,
a
like,
million
say.
cameras around, and no, this is actually
Yes.
great. I love this. Good content. Please go.
Yeah.
I thought we had our teaser
But
clip.
no.
Now we have
We're
our
gonna
teaser
have
clip.
Well, it's going to be a 7-minute teaser.
So I'm walking back. So I was with my publicist and Kate, you know Kate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know Kate.
I know Kate. Also
and,
my publicist.
Yeah.
That's the only person who knows at the award show.
Same. But she was walking by. I was with Kate, and she said something to me, and then Kate turns around, and we both heard that she goes, "Hi, I love you. Wah, wah, wah." I couldn't hear. She was like walking away.
She's making fun of you for last year.
No, well, I had just said that, and I was like, oh, like she's kind of a comedy queen. She's just being funny.
It's
Like,
true, yeah.
I love you, wah, wah, wah. Like, I thought that would be something she would do. And so I was like, oh my God, that's cute and funny.
Yeah.
And then turned out she didn't say that. And then I saw her like the next week, and I was like, I have to tell you, like, I thought, and she's like, you thought I said wah, wah, wah? That's so funny. And I was like, no, it's an old person not being able to hear. Like, that's so embarrassing. So you're either young and you're embarrassed, and then you just go right into not being able to hear.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're old and embarrassing.
That's life. That's life in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. You think you're young and cool, and then you're old and you go, I'm really not cool.
Oh man. Yeah.
Well, Leighton, something else that's changed about our show is that we do a lot more research than we did in the first season. So I did do, we all did some research on you, and I learned that you spent a lot of time with your grandma growing up. And I was curious if she's still with us, sort of what was your relationship with her as a young person? If she's still with us, what is it like now?
She's not. She passed away a few years back. And, let me give this some thought. So after she took care of us when we were little, we ended up moving away and going and living with my dad. And then I never really saw her again. I probably saw her like once when I was a teenager and then once when I was an adult, and then she passed away. But we always talked on the phone. But she moved to Idaho and she, I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, but she lived with, she lived with a lot of cats. And
Classic.
okay, I guess it's funny.
That's my future, but with dachshunds. I'm just going to live with a bunch of dogs.
Socially adapted young women live with a lot of cats generally. I think
Yes,
is the joke, right?
She also had a lot of like canned goods. This is sort of the direction that she
A
went
bunker.
Yeah, but it was more like not. I don't think it was like. I think it was like. I think she had a lot of trash. I think she had a lot of trash in the house.
Okay.
So that's what happened with her. But I always, was in touch with her over that period, and even got to like ask her a lot of questions about like her upbringing, and wrote a lot of it down so that I could know like what it was like for her when she was young. And she had been like a flight attendant for American Airlines for a while, and told me so many inappropriate things that happened to her as a flight attendant when she was young.
Really?
We had people, and we just get a little pinch on the bottom, and we'd go get them a drink. And I was like, Grandma,
Wow.
it's fine. It was funny. And she was very proud that I guess she walked in the Rose Parade, or, like I don't know, something she lived in LA when she was a kid. And she was in the Peace Corps.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's also part of why I didn't really see her much. Trying to think of more to give to Joy. Her name is Joy.
Joy. Oh, so sweet.
How do you...
No, it's funny. This is all very funny.
No, this is, again, thought we had the teaser clip. Now we have...
It's just a series of teaser clips.
This is, guys, we're finally hitting our stride last episode in.
Yeah, I finally did it.
Man.
Yeah, you guys had nothing before.
Yeah. So how your children are how old now?
5 and 10.
5 and 10. So wait, so you had a newborn back when we first basically, or like a 1-year-old.
You did too. I remember you being like,
so. I just thought your children were older.
Yeah, we were. He's just a little guy.
Yeah, he's a little guy. And now you have twins as well. How old are they?
They're 5 months to
Oh my
almost
goodness
a day,
gracious.
Yeah.
Wow. How is that?
I mean, it's it's like, well, you know how it is with anybody who's had a kid is like, wow. And then it's like, add another to that. Add a whole other to that. And it's just like, it's just logistically, it's so overwhelming. But then, there's, like just this morning, I'm getting really good at holding them both and getting them both to sleep. And then, which is a collective, 30 something pounds. And then sitting and rocking for a while, it's just necessary because it's like, how it is when you have a baby, like you're trying to get that baby to sleep and like, oh, you finally get the baby to sleep. It's like, well, again, you have to do that with a whole other baby.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, it's just comical. It's just comical, like how much more challenging it is, but how, anyone who's put in it, you're just like, all right, well, this is what we do now. And,
my mom asked, she was like, how's Penn doing with the twins? And I was like, I think he's barely upright. I think he, every time we get on an episode and someone asks him, he's like,
because it's just madness. I mean, again,
right now he is in his pajama pants. I'll also tell you.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually told Leighton, I was like, just so you know, we do video, but I am always in sweatpants and mostly unshowered. Usually
you said unshowered, and then I typed in, but I'll shower, and then I was like, I'm erasing it because I don't think no time. And I didn't. They didn't do it.
Yeah, neither am I because too many kids right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, so, Nava brought up your grandmother, Joy, who will be, the hot teaser clip. And we I'm just thinking of how your relationship to motherhood's going and evolving, and because also, I can relate to, when you're a woman with your mother or a man with your father, when you are trying to start a lot of things that you maybe didn't witness or experience. And on one hand, those things can be so natural, but then as you do it, you start to realize I don't think I would have had those things around. And then, and then also I got to say, once we interviewed Adam, God,
the
love
sweetest.
him. Everybody wants that. But not just him, but what you guys have. Like, you do seem to have a really special union, and the way you talk about your kids is really lovely and sweet. And I'm just wondering, just give us a 5 years update. just let us know what's going on in that house of yours.
I love him. So what you brought up about having a child, and to me, it was so being pregnant into having a baby. I didn't realize so much of it for me on my end, and I think a lot of people probably, especially in this day and age, are I'm not going to repeat the same things that happened in my own upbringing. And I
Gen
had
Zs
fears.
are like, shut up, millennials, about all this. Oh, you're overstimulated and traumatized. Shocker.
Everyone's fucked up. Move on. But I definitely had this. It was like I'd never thought about or considered how impactful, especially those first, the first year, the first handful of months are, and the whole kind of narrative, or the thing that I would say to myself and what other people would say to me, was a lot of that stuff that happened was in the first, whatever, any stuff that separation from my parents and from my mother, and those losses. I would be what? But I was so little, I don't remember. My older brother, I feel for him. He was 3 years older. He remembers that stuff. But then I held my baby and I was like, oh, everything.
Yeah, right.
And this is such an important connection. And I had been so sympathetic and concerned for my own parents and their own undoing, And at the same time, then I had my own children, and it was oh, wait, it actually is easy to love them. And ultimately, the only thing that I can do is love them. They're already so complete and so good and so them. And there's nothing that I can really do except for maybe make it worse. And all I can give them is love. And even when I think about specifically the idea of stability, which is something I didn't experience growing up, from my examples to literal physical stability, in a home. And it had me so concerned. It actually makes being an actor kind of hard, because we have to always be traveling and packing and leaving. And then even with we lost our home, and it really I don't recommend it. It's not not great.
Love that.
Yeah. On my don't list for this year.
Not on my bingo card.
And yet I look at my kids, and they are, it is an extremely traumatizing experience, and they will be very interesting people for it. And you can't get through this. There's no straight line through this life, You can't get out of this life without experiencing pain. And I can't shield them from that. It's uncontrollable. But at the same time, I learned so much. I got such a perspective shift that I didn't even think I needed from them in my time of being like, I have to be solid for them. I have to hold them. And they are so in the moment and yes, are aware of like what happened and what can happen. And I wouldn't hope that for them. But they also are like, they just want to play. And they just want you in this couple minutes to be like, can we play Candylands? You know, they don't want a perfect place. They don't care, you know, they're just sort of able to be, I guess, innocent, you know, not having to be the adult. They don't have to hold our emotions. They don't have to manage us. And they can feel sad and are facing these kind of mature, or I guess, you know, a real lesson in life, which is like there's an impermanence, but they're just so, yeah, in the moment. It's such a lesson. But also just, yeah, loving them is so, it's easy and it's natural. I mean, you know, yeah, when you look at your own baby, or when I looked at my own baby, I was like, that's like, for the first time, my time to sort of reflect on the young me and maybe what I needed. There's more to your question, but I've lost it.
I don't
Sorry.
remember what
I have a question because you brought up losing your home and just taking that off we're all taking that off our to-do list. But I'm curious, last time you were with us, we talked a lot about the importance of community, especially as you're raising kids. And you talked about how you live in this small community and it's really special and kind of everyone's communal with their kids, or you alluded to that.
Now that it's been decimated.
Well, I'm curious. Yeah, when you're uprooted from that, what have you learned about building anew, about building community itself in the face of like all that loss?
Well, it's complicated because I can't help but bring this up, and I'm not doing this as I'm not saying this as a whatever. I'm not going to qualify.
I think we got a new teaser clip coming. Let's go.
Penn is the dog with the bone. He's not going to let that go for the rest of the episode.
The rest of the season.
What was the question? Okay, so
Building community. Yeah.
Building community.
You said it's complicated.
So it's complicated so we loved our community, and there was certainly your sort of day to day, the things that I mean, for me, I'm like, well, I've lived other places. I've had other jobs. I've had other homes. I've been all over, but for kids, they kind of go school and home.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part of their world, there's also the park, but those things cease to exist. And it's in many ways, it feels like I swear, a loss of innocence. I wish in many ways that I could go back just even for one day and be like, I didn't know this was going to happen, and I could just enjoy my home and my life there. But you can't go back. And you create your little world, you walk to your little bodega and you have the same little shops and you do your grocery shopping, and it's just like your little world, your town. On the flip side of that, I would say that I'm not saying it doesn't totally suck. I'm actually saying the opposite, in that we're the absolute luckiest in the world. We have each other. Our children are healthy. We're healthy. We were home, so we had to leave very quickly, but
Wow.
ultimately
That's
like,
so scary, Leighton.
yeah, I mean, the like aftermath, and certainly, you know, when people say like the fires that happen, like for people who were there, like they're still happening. The like looking for, you know, trying to recover and trying to find a new home and putting your kids in new schools and all that stuff it's an ongoing, you know, situation. But yeah, I think for me, I let go of the physical stuff like very quickly. I was like, that's okay, you know. Even keepsakes and stuff, I'm like, it's like you could just, that's like the least important of it. And that stuff trickles back in and like, you know, but I think we're the luckiest version, you know, we were insured. It's certainly not, you know, that's not the case for everybody. And actually like even insured, like you're not gonna, whatever, we're getting into the minutia, but
No,
you're not
give us
gonna
your
like be
policy.
able to.
And let's just bullet point
everything.
that policy. I want to know. I'm sure they've been nickel and diming you. I'm sure my experience with insurance companies, no matter
I
what, is
didn't
that they
know
just don't
because
insure.
my dad, the fire got really close to my dad's place. It didn't hit it, thank God. But we started looking into his policy. We had no idea. I was completely ignorant. I didn't know insurance doesn't cover the full cost.
No,
like a
no.
fraction. And I was like, that is crazy to me. Like I truly had no idea. So there's still like a huge financial loss even when you're insured.
Totally. And it's the time, during these years where you go, well, do I rent? Do I buy? What do I do?
Yeah.
You know, do we leave? There's like, it just sort of shakes up your world. But I guess, you know, I would say, I wish it only happened to us. You know, like if I could have controlled that, I'd be like, just us. That's it. Because the whole, you know, like you're everywhere you go, everything you do, everybody you see, like I'm never going to see those people again. And what was is no longer. But there is some solace, as dark as it sounds, that other people feel the same way. And I can't believe that kind of severe pain can happen in such a large amount of people at one time. And then of course I don't do this to like be like minimize or compare, but I'm like, but there's this type of thing on a grander scale is happening all over the world, people being displaced and they can never go home. There's never a world where they can return. And also worse and worse and worse, you know, than that. And I don't do that to like make myself feel better. I still am like aware that this is a devastation and certainly, you know, for the community, but and also just, I mean, you know, it's just going to be an ongoing thing, probably forever. And I was saying like, when you say like, that's scary, that stuff, like it doesn't even occur to you till later. Like, was, even just the exit was an ordeal. So it's just ongoing and not on my bingo.
We talk about uncomfortable moments a lot on Podcrushed, but today I want to talk to you about a different type of discomfort. It comes from having relentless, stressful, unwanted thoughts about your relationships, your health, your identity, or even disturbing scenarios that you know you'd never act on. And this discomfort isn't a one-time thing. Those unwanted thoughts keep coming back and the distress just keeps growing. It's a terrible way to feel, and you want to get rid of those thoughts so badly that you'll spend hours doing anything that seems like it might help. Maybe it's checking and rechecking your texts to make sure you didn't say the wrong thing. Maybe it's walking back into the kitchen for the 5th time to be certain that the stove is off, because even though you're late for work, you just can't be sure that it really is. Maybe it's something else, but no matter what you try, those anxiety-provoking thoughts just won't quit. These experiences can be symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder or OCD. If this doesn't sound like OCD to you, that's because OCD is highly, highly misunderstood. The truth is, OCD can latch on to anything that matters to you, and whatever it affects, it can be debilitating. But with the right kind of therapy, it is highly treatable. And that's why I want to tell you about NoCD. NoCD provides virtual therapy that can help you take your life back from OCD. Their licensed therapists are trained in a specialized treatment designed specifically for OCD, exposure and response prevention therapy, or ERP. NoCD also accepts many major insurance plans and provides always-on support between therapy sessions. To learn more about therapy with NoCD, go to nocd.com and schedule a free 15-minute call with their team. That's nocd.com to learn more and book a free 15-minute call. What you said about wishing you could go back for just a day or half an hour and just know like, oh, this is not going to last forever. I think it's on TikTok, but I've seen people talk about that in parenthood, like when you're having a hard moment, like trying to get your baby to sleep or whatever the hard moment is, like try to imagine yourself at 80 coming back for 30 minutes. And that's the only 30 minutes you have. And you'd savor it, even though right now it feels so hard, which is a hard thing to do. But I think it's a good lesson. Like I know you can't, you're after the fact. You can't go back at this moment. But
TikTok.
But moving forward,
strikes again.
because they are full of like
some really good stuff.
There's plenty of wisdom, but it's also
so
like
true.
shut
It
the
makes me wanna
fuck up
cry.
right now. Okay, then take one of my babies. Take them for 30 minutes if you want them for 30 minutes and act like you're 80.
yeah.
I mean, seriously. Like, I mean, because no, I completely agree. I actually completely agree. Like, we should live with the grace and mercy for ourselves and others, and especially our family and especially our children, like kind of at all moments. That is the goal. But there's a reason. There's like
can't live like
really
that,
significant reasons why it's so difficult to do. And I think the thing that I'm now like if I have any algorithm that makes any sense, either on TikTok or Instagram,
It really doesn't, his algorithm.
It's parenting. Yeah, no,
From what he sends us,
because
it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, the algorithm is like, who is he human? What is what are his needs? What are his
Last time
wants?
he sent us a reel or something, I just was like, does anyone have the Zoom link for our meeting? I don't know how to respond to this.
That's true.
video.
You didn't respond. It was the roach, wasn't it? It was the roach rapping.
No, it was the guy in the office with the markers and the little baby girl and it was a weird video.
Wait, but God, I just want people to know that there is a TikTok, or maybe it's an Instagram out there, of a roach rapping to a man who's about to hit it with his clog, and then the roach starts rapping, and it's like a good Kendrick verse, and it is so
Oh my God.
so good.
Oh my God.
It's so good. And I'm realizing I didn't send that to you guys. I sent that to somebody else who would
Yeah,
get
I
it
think I've
and
seen
care.
this rapping cockroach.
And it's so funny because right
no
before
sympathy for
he
roaches.
raps his verse, he goes, roach. Like, he's just, it's
An MC.
I felt seen when I saw that. I was just like, why does this make so much sense? It's so good. No, I wish I could quote the lyrics. Anyway, I think I was
you can
asking you
learn it.
something. I don't remember what it was.
Leighton, when you said something really profound about like you were kind of making this connection with other people who will never be able to go home. And I was thinking, I don't know if anyone's had the chance to see this Malala Yousafzai. She executive produced this documentary called Champions of the Golden Valley.
Right.
And it's about like the first co-ed ski team in Afghanistan. And it's incredible. It's this like incredible documentary because the filmmakers were making it when the Taliban had left and Afghanistan could have something like a co-ed ski team. And then the Taliban returned right before the film had just started post. And then they had to like add this stuff because it completely changed the situation. The woman couldn't be on camera. They had to be like blurred out. Anyway, so the film is crazy because it has these two completely different tones. And it's really sad, obviously, ultimately. But the producer, I went to a screening and the producer was talking about like the guy that they featured was this like, had Olympic level talent in skiing. He might've been an Olympian, a former Olympian. He had to flee the country. And he was talking about his experience in other countries. Like as a refugee, you you have left the most devastating circumstances imaginable. His family was literally getting shot at the airport as they're like running onto the plane. Fortunately, he had like his baby in his arms. Fortunately, no one in his family was killed, his immediate family, but people that he loved were. Like, you've left the most devastating situation, and then you go to a new country and people look at you with like suspicion, fear, or even if they're really kind to you, they only see you as a refugee. And he was like, I want people to know that like I'm a skier, I'm an athlete. And I was just like, I just found that so meaningful and disturbing. And like the narrative around immigrants and refugees is so different than the reality. And it's like, how do we bridge that, you know? Why is that the case? Like, anyway, so you saying that just made me think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that movie. I haven't seen it. Adam went to a screening of it.
I was at the one he was at. He introduced it.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I think it just goes to show also like, oh God, like trauma, like over and over, like generational trauma, all these like, you know, and for what? Like it really crushes human potential, you know, in a group of people who could be doctors and people who are writers and scientists. And it's like, oh, you're not even allowed to do any of that. You're not allowed to express yourself. It's unbelievable.
I mean, I would say that that in Brooklyn here, what I've not seen, you know, homelessness is one thing, and that's its own, you know, spend an entire podcast series on that. But the number of like immigrant families that I now see, or at least, you know, mothers with a number of children, mixed ages, but then actually a lot of times families. What's clear is that there are families who are just sort of, they have no options, so they come here, and then they come here and they have no options. And to be, you know, to see it, I think it's a little bit of it's like an old feeling but a new feeling, because it's like it's compounded homelessness. It's such a, what it makes me feel when I see it is like, wow, there is nothing that can be done immediately about that without everyone reorienting. And you know, what I've been thinking about recently, just given how nationalistic, you know, it feels like the great powers of the world are becoming even more kind of embattled and entrenched in that position, that mindset, is like how truly, like, it's one thing to say, you know, we are all family, you know, the whole world is a family, but actually think of a family system. Like, a family system is something you cannot leave. And even when, you know, the more you fight and ignore it, the more the trauma compounds and complexifies, and death doesn't stop it. You know what I mean? Death doesn't stop it at all. The people who continue on are the people who are left with it and have to sort it out. And so I've been thinking, rather than thinking of it as like a really weak platitude that the earth is one family, I've been thinking of it more as like, oh, this is a family system because none of us can leave it, which is the only sort of system that you can't leave. It's the only sort of group. You know what I mean? It's the only sort of organization, it's the only sort of like body that even if you leave it, it's like, no, you're still a part of it, and you just created something worse by believing you could exit it, you know? So if we didn't have the teaser, we now do.
You're like, even if they die, they come back and haunt you. And you have to deal with that.
Well, Leighton, last time you were here, we barely talked about your career, and we promised each other we would, because you've had an amazing career, but I feel like I heard someone on the carpet say this, Leighton's having a renaissance, and it's totally true. You're on every streamer, you're on HBO, you're on Apple, you're on Prime, you're on Netflix, and they're all amazing, and it all has like such different range. So I wanted to start with Buccaneers, if you're down. It's hard to talk about your character without getting into crazy spoiler territory. So I wanted to just ask you how you prepared to enter that like period world, the period affect. If you have like a favorite period show or book, sort of what can you share with us?
Let's see. Well, I really love Edith Wharton, and that's what that whole time period, and obviously I think that show in particular has sort of retroactively given like a voice and dignity to women of that time period. And I really like the way that they execute it. I really admire even just like my character coming in. I think it's okay to say, and if it isn't, I don't care. I'm the mom. Essentially, I'm the mother who gave up the child. And she's, discovered that she's, I don't know another way to say it, illegitimate is the sort of how she's, she calls it in the show. And that devastates her. But then also, because of the right circumstances, she's sort of accepted. But my character has lived this lifetime of pain, of feeling like she made the worst mistake in the world and lost her whole family because of it. Even though it was ultimately the right decision, but she's just survived by like shoving down her feelings. So that felt, I felt like the pain and the sort of way that a person during this time period would manage the pain, it all felt fairly, current. I feel like it wasn't necessarily just trying to understand how someone in that period would, deal with it. It's like, yeah, that's kind of how it is now. There's a lot that is, unspoken or said in hushed tones. But the other side of it was that they wear really fancy clothes, and we shot at castles and we rode in carriages.
Wow.
And I was, there were some like more lighthearted and humorous moments too. And I couldn't believe that I was squealing like a child. I was like in the back of a carriage and I was like, oh my God. Like I was, really excited by, they wore hats. And the hats they don't do anything. They're not for sun. They're not for warmth.
Yeah, right.
They're this small and they are so silly. And it's just so ridiculous. It's so fun. And we were just in like these like 500-600-year-old castles, and it was just gorgeous and picturesque. But I love Age of Innocence is one of my favorite movies, and like the most unsatisfying like love story. It's not a rom-com by any means.
I love an
but
unsatisfying love story.
He only likes unsatisfying love stories.
Like I can't even talk about it. It makes me want to cry. That movie. It is. You're right. It's unsaid. Love that. But yeah, what was that the answer?
No, yeah,
that you're
no,
looking for?
that
Okay.
was even more. And I didn't realize you guys were filming at actual castles. That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Scotland. It's really, it's green.
Gorge.
It rains there.
I watched the first episode of Good Cop, Bad Cop last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, so funny. And your first scene where you come in and you're interrogating like a suspect or so, I guess, made me think about you as a mom and wonder like, how do you discipline as a mom? You were so good, and your character Lou just like kills him with kindness and like massages this information out of him like a real mom. And I wondered if you and Adam have like a good cop, bad cop situation, and who's who.
Not exactly, but I think like the character is, I think she's got like a maternal quality. She's very like, I think, and I don't know, I'm totally probably misquoting, but John Quaintance, who was the showrunner and the writer, I swear I feel like he was like, she's folksy as fuck. That was like the description.
That's great.
And I was like, that's how I would do it if I had to like interrogate. It's like, I mean, she's tough and she's seen it, she's seen some bad stuff, but she's like, friends with everybody. And I think that I'm going to call your mom tactic is I think that every parent has to resort to it. to some extent. Like whether you want to say yes or no, you go, let me just ask your dad, you know? And it does help more than good cop, bad cop. It just helps if you're sort of aligned in how you're gonna deal with certain things. I think that like the small stuff kind of takes care of itself. The big things, if you're aligned, it kind of helps everything else.
Totally.
Yeah.
My husband and I, there's one thing we cannot get aligned on, and it annoys me every time it comes up. Our toddler has started having night terrors, and he thinks you should wake her up when she's having the night terror. And I think, no, you just have to let her get through it.
Why don't you Google
Every
that?
time the two of us are like, get out of the room. You get out. I'm dealing with it.
Guys, just search that thing. There's definitely some info out there.
Yeah, I have.
But what? Oh, and you're supposed to let it go.
So your informed opinion is that David is wrong.
Yes, but he says, I experienced night terrors and my mom always woke me up. And I said, well.
Yeah, I was like, and how do you feel about your mom?
He goes, don't bring my mom into this. Wait. So what does a night terror look like?
It looks like just like sudden, like intense crying or screaming. And they're kind of in a daze. Like they're not answering you when you come to them and ask them questions or like come to soothe them. And it's just like consistent for sometimes 10 to 20 minutes.
Wow, that's a really long time.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel to know that you're responsible for that?
Well, I have this stuff. People have been like, is there psychological damage from a night terror? No.
I don't think.
But what causes it? Like, what is it? Bad
All sorts
dreams?
of things like sickness.
Bad parenting.
No. It's not parenting. I promise.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
The blog post I read about it said it's not parenting.
The parent influencer who I'm following, whose children have night terrors, swears.
Apparently, a big one is sickness, or like if it's too hot or too cold. Yeah, but she's been sick a lot the last month, so that's why.
Okay.
Anyway,
I had an experience where this isn't going to be a funny story, but I'll just say that out in front of it. I was in.
Great.
Yeah. Let's record it. I was in Liberia. This is such a I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but so I was with so Adam's brother had like a surf hostel there, and we went and stayed there for a couple weeks. It was like beautiful and, pretty off the grid. And at one point, this like crew of fishermen guys from South Africa came on their boats, and they brought like all this like raw fish, and we were like, because we were kind of, there wasn't a lot to snack on at the time. It was like, I won't go into it, but anyway, we ended up sharing this little like house with this one guy, and he had night terrors, and there was no ceiling, so you could just hear everything in the other rooms. And he would wake up in the middle of the night, and the first time this happened, I was like, we're gonna die. Like something bad is happening. It was him. Just imagine in the middle of the night, shit, fuck, just screaming. Like, and I was like, is he being eaten by a snake? Like, I don't know what's happening. I was so scared. I was like, is he gonna come in here? And the next day we were like, so
what was that?
What's up? And I guess it happens to him every night.
Like, oh, do I have a night terror?
Every night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Like, why
I
did
probably
he
should have
tell
mentioned
you?
it. Yeah.
And then the last night, I didn't hear the night terror, but he had very loud sex.
Oh my
Basically,
God.
so,
And it
He
sounded
gave you
just
a
like the
night
night terror.
and that was my night. And now I wake up going, shit!
This
so
guy
scary.
sounds like a trooper, man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of sex, I Love LA, another show that you're
Oh, I was like,
that you're
where?
part of.
Yeah, like,
Where's
Where's
she gonna
this
be?
going?
you're so funny in that show. What strikes me about that show is that there does seem to be like a clear Gen Z millennial divide. And I was just curious because the actors on set, I think, are also kind of correspond to that. If you feel that line in real life or if it's like much more blurred. And I'm also just curious, like Rachel is like so like the lead, like she's so powerful and in command, like in every aspect of that show. So I was just curious, like what you admire about Rachel, about Gen Z women in general.
Well, I wouldn't say that there was like, I just thought everyone was pretty cool and nice, and talented. And I will say, I noticed that everyone seemed really confident in a way that when I was young, and maybe it just seems that way as like, I don't know, from the outside, but I'm like, they're pretty, sure of themselves, you know? I think like they're much more able to like lead with and sort of find strength in their quirks and their imperfections in a way that at the very least, like when I was that age or younger, that felt like a no-no, you know, like you can't really open up. You kind of have to be more, perfect. And so I think I do admire that. At some point, like Rachel asked me to do a TikTok with her, and I've never been more scared of something in my entire life. I've never been more like... And she just opened it and was like, flip, 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 like showing me like ideas and like directing me, you know. And I was like, there's so much pressure like to get it right because you're so like mouthing something. And then also, it took so long. Like you watch a clip and it's like funny and quick. And there's maybe it just took long because I was doing it. It's like a lot.
No, it's both. I mean, I think even the most fluid and like fluent TikToker, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I think it still ends up taking up a lot of time. Like it all takes, I think there's still, for all of the like, the removal of the millennial pause, and you're right, there's just like, there is something that's very, there's a sheen and a filter, ironically, that's like not there for the youngins that like when we were in our 20s, and especially anything that was like public facing, there was like, even if you didn't want to put it in there was so much infrastructure and so much like perfection that was trying to be achieved and so much like production value. But even for all that, even for all the like, there is some authenticity, there is some spontaneity, and there is something that is kind of like novel and charming and good about that. I think there's still so much like just time and preparation and like like skill. It's a skill to actually do that stuff and to post. I know that every time I get on either TikTok or Instagram, the format has changed because it's been updated, and I'm like, how do I post something? Where is the button to post something? I swear it's not here. And I'm texting Sophie. I'm like, hey, sorry, time difference. I know you're not awake, but I need this right now because the episode's out and I've got to post something.
He's just texting her, how do I hit post?
That has happened multiple times. I swear the button was there yesterday.
But then, to my credit, sometimes I have shown you stuff and you're like, yeah, that's weird. It is
that
different.
is weird.
No, Instagram did do a really big change on how you post. It took me a minute to figure it out. Yeah. Leighton, I don't know if you know this. Penn is going to... Penn's going to make me edit this out because I don't think he wants this credit. But a lot of people refer to him as the king of TikTok. Like in our comments, we get that a lot.
They do? You're the king of TikTok?
Well, but TikTok, you know what we know about
For some
TikTok is
people.
that TikTok, unlike Instagram, the thing about the new algorithms is that they only show you what, like, the comment section is no longer a place where you get hate. It's where you get indiscriminate love. So sure, our comments probably call me the king of TikTok.
Yeah.
And while they're biased, they're right.
Sometimes the bias is accurate. Yeah.
No, come on, guys. I have like 5 million followers. You have to have, like at least 50 to be the king of something.
I think you're the king of TikTok. I've heard you guys say that he's the king of content.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it
Goes
is.
together.
King of content.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of an adjective to describe your episode of Nobody Wants This, and the only adjectives that were coming to me were like food related, like yummy, scrumptious. I just ate it up. I loved it so much. And
So good.
specifically your scenes with Adam, and then that line he has where he's like, she's not my type. So
I squeeze.
such good writing. But I was curious, I know you love the show. I know you've said that. But what was the best part of working on that show, and then also of working across Adam?
It's so funny because I find it to be stressful a lot of the time coming into a show that's kind of already going. It's like catching up and being like, okay, I don't have much time to do what I have to do, and I have to go in and like prove or just at least say the lines, okay? Like, you just have to do a good job, and you don't have like a ramp, you can't really ramp up. But I think a combo of like knowing him and now everybody else, like I've spent some time with everybody else there. It felt homey and, nice. It wasn't like too much of an alien, like I'm a guest, and I don't know anybody. Also just the show, like, everybody behind the camera, like really allows you for like all the space to play. And so that was really great. There was never like, they were just encouraging and supportive, and it felt good. It felt like very,
Yeah, it seemed like it felt so fun and easy for you. That's what I just got the sense that you did feel right at home. I'm curious, how did it come about? Was it something where like after the first season, you and Adam were talking in a way where like, oh, that'd be fun if I did something? Or I'm just curious because I feel like it was, I can't think of a comparison, but it just really did feel like a perfect, okay, back in the heyday of like the Judd Apatow comedies, and you'd get like the cameos where it's just like you're just like everybody, just a good cameo, and it's like even though half the time you're thinking of the fact that that's the person, you just like it still just makes the whole thing better, and it's just that's what it felt like to me. How did it come about? Was it something that you had suggested? Was it something that did they approach you kind of, and you and Adam were both like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but this is funny?
I think they brought it up like early on, maybe even the first season. They're like, well, we'll see, if there's something for her somewhere.
Right.
And how that came up is I'm just sleeping with him, so that's like I got it. My little taste of nepotism.
Slept your way to the top.
Exactly. And then I think they just like had this idea and this sort of either they'd had the episode. I think they already had it. And he came home one day and was like, I think they're going to send you a script. And they came to him and they were like, would she want to do it? And he's like, send it to her and see what she says. And I said yes. I was like, yeah, I think also because like I saw it on the page and was like, this will be really fun to do. But I actually didn't even realize how much like it was very fluid and very, I think it speaks to the writing actually of the show. I had so much fun, and it was fairly like natural with, Adam and Justine and Kristen, and then Joe Gillette, who played my husband, who's so funny.
That's right, yeah.
And just like being able to be encouraging and like open, and there wasn't, it was actually like amazing to be on a show and for them to be like, do that thing again, just like instead of being like, and let's do just a scripted version and then we were losing light. It was so not that, and it felt really just like free and relaxed. And also just, instantly feeling comfortable. And also, not for nothing, this is so not the reason to do a show, but I got to drive there with Adam, and it was just fun. It's just so fun.
That's so
And they're
cute.
like, do you want your own trailer? I was like, no, I don't need my own trailer. You know, it's just so
That's so
nice.
sweet. Yeah.
It's really nice.
That's
we got to like
really
hang out
sweet.
with one another.
Well, just while we're on the topic of Adam guested on our show. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to his episode.
I sure did.
Oh, you did? Okay, sweet. I'm going to still quote you something that he said because I really want to hear your take on it. So Adam said, I guess you guys met on a film. Was it called Oranges? Anyway, he said, I was smitten for a long time. I didn't get to know her for many years after, even though we worked together briefly. And she's so lovely and she's so sweet. She's so nice. She's so good. Yet, you know, and this is to her credit, she remained elusive to me for so long and aloof. I couldn't get a total read because even though she professes to have been interested in me and all those things, not only did she not pursue that, but she was perfectly willing to let it never happen. There were many false starts and she was perfectly willing to let that message in the bottle return to sea. And I thought about that for a long time. And I've always been
Play
curious,
hard to get,
like,
ladies.
what's your
Play
side of that?
hard
Were you willing
to get.
Were you willing to like let that never happen? Like, yeah, just what's your take on that?
That is really, so sweet and like poetic. And also then it turns into like, God damn it. Like, what's I doing? So I actually think, Penn, you were there when we met. For the very first time. We met at Cantor's. You know Cantor's Deli?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's... Yeah, I remember being around you both at some point way back. Like, we're talking... Like, I dimly remember. And this is... And I know that it was so dim and fleeting that... God, I don't even know... I mean, it certainly wasn't on my radar that you guys knew each other, really. But yeah, I mean, maybe I was there. Maybe it was like some other... I remember the time I remember you guys both being in the same room, because I think Josh Schwartz was also there.
Yeah, I think it was at Nicole's house. Nicole had a birthday.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
That would
That's
have
New
been
York.
one of the first times that I met Adam, but I think the very first time...
Was at Cantor's.
You don't remember
So
the first time I laid eyes on Adam?
Yeah, I might have been
Now
there.
in
But
retrospect makes the whole world make sense to me. We were here. We were in LA for like whatever not the
LA
upfronts, but like the LA
whatever that is,
version.
yeah.
And we had like kind of a late, like it was like a lot of interviews and stuff, and then we ended up at Cantor's, and it was kind of late.
okay, yeah, that's ringing a bell.
Yeah, and it was like we were all sitting at a table, and Adam, who used to go there just like, you know, all the time, I think he lived nearby, he was there and came up to say hi. And then that was the first time we met. And I think I don't want to say half of the story because it's a little weird, but there was one nice half of the story. He was like her, like I think,
yeah.
you know, about me, to clarify. And and then I saw him again at Nicole's, probably the next time that I ever saw him, and kind of talked to him and was like, okay. But I had to give it like a solid, 5 years until I was ready.
Really test him.
Yeah. But really, like, I mean, like we did a movie together. He had a girlfriend at the time who was very sweet and, who I liked. And in fact, produced and directed I Love LA.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, in between, I ended up going on a kind of a date or two with him. And then I dated someone else for like almost a year, who you kind of knew, Penn. And then, yeah, just I feel like the timing ended up being right. And I like the idea of like, I mean, whenever I talk to like married couples, I'm like, how'd you meet? A lot of the time there's like sort of missed, like, there's like false starts and like, oh, I thought that he liked my roommate, or there's a lot of that, and then it ends up being like, oh, that was my husband the whole time. But I think I was, I don't know if I was. I think I just had to like see about a couple of other people.
Yeah, gotta go see about a guy.
But now I go like, why did I do that? Like that was the wrong move, obviously. But was it? Because then I ended up.
No, yeah.
Yeah, because
in
then
the timing.
timing may not have been right. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
think ultimately though, it would have been right, because he is the right person and he's, but I would argue that he's the right person for a lot of people. He's just a really good person, and
That's
I'll tell you one thing,
happened
sweetie.
to get in there. Penn, you
Ben has a
wanna
crush.
confess something?
I think he's on the record. I think he's already confessed it. It actually made me curious just if you philosophically, Leighton, are someone like when you really want something, are you kind of like, if it's meant to be to work out, do you like pursue it a lot? Because I guess I formed the idea that like, she's just like chill. Like if she wants something, she just like, it'll come to her if it's meant to be. But I don't know if that's true, if that's just something I like, wrongly concluded.
No, I think that's true to some extent. I think I do obsess sometimes though. So I don't 100% go, just let it be and it'll be. Like I don't do that all the time. I'm like, I gotta, check in on it. But I think with that, it wasn't like, I think that, we were still kind of young. And so it wasn't like, it didn't feel like pressure. And it didn't seem like that long of like, we dated and put time in and is this going to be a thing? It just, once we gave it the time and when I say the time, I mean like 5 days, we're like, oh, okay. Like there it is, and so in that way, I think like it was timing, it's luck. It's just being like, we were both happened to be single at the same time. And, so yeah, I feel like, and really truly able to recognize how lucky we were to find each other and to be together. Who was saying that they asked their husband who you'd marry if I was dead? Was it you, Sophie?
It's definitely Sophie.
I love that so much,
goodness.
and I get that.
The mark of insanity, if there ever was
I
one.
feel like
It's
that is so-
It's like, oh.
I love it. I think it's such a good move. I think actually, okay, it's psychotic, but it is also.
Oh, okay.
No, but I
because
think
it's inevitably leading to being like, oh, so.
Oh, is it?
No, I truly don't feel I would feel that way.
But you
He'll
don't know
never
because you've
answer
not
it.
gotten
Yeah,
an
he
answer.
hasn't
Because
answered
you're-
it.
Answer,
Yeah,
but I
you wouldn't know.
truly
I don't
don't think I
hurt.
would.
It'd be fine.
I just feel, I think after we posted that clip and people were like, you're crazy. I was like, I think I feel really secure in our relationship. Like he could say any name. He could say my best friend and I'd be like, yeah, but we're good,
What if it
know?
was Syria?
My sister. No. That would be the one name.
She gets awkward and quiet now.
I was gonna say any name. No, I was gonna say when I first met David, I was with my sister, and I always give him a hard time that he thought she was cute and not instead of me. And so I was gonna, and he's like, "You're insane. You actually don't know what I was thinking, and you're insane." But I wasn't
But you
gonna throw
might
him under the
also
bus.
be onto something. I'm just here fully, like fanning the flames. No, but I think there's something to that because someone recently asked me, as if I'm any authority whatsoever, like, what's the secret to like love? Like, how do you do it? How do you date in this business or whatever? And there's no secrets, just like each other, get along, and like. There's other pieces to the puzzle for sure, but I was like actually truly in like facing like what you're assuming is going to be a life with somebody. I go, well, what would it be like to be? Okay, you're gonna maybe think this is psychotic. What would it be like to break up with this person? And if they're going to be cool. And I guess you always assume like, it would be fine and we would be fine. But I go, I know that he has good taste. Like I think like a lot of his ex-girlfriends seem cool and like, you know, he's a good person. So he'd probably choose somebody really amazing to be like a stepmom to my kids who also love them. And just Penn quietly being like, "You're a psychotic." I know
that's
that's
getting
what
ready to say
the
it.
same way I say it to Sophie, but I will plead the fifth.
but I would go, you know, like, and if I died, I'd be like, I hope I wouldn't be there. I mean, I would be haunting them, obviously, but
Return.
and I would return. But I would hope that he would like, obviously, be with somebody amazing, whoever he chooses. But if it was my best friend, that would be cool because I would know that like they're kind of like me in many ways. Like they're, you know, and they love my children. And yeah.
I do think you actually get to know a lot about a person in a breakup. Like I've had a few
So do it
breakups.
So try it.
And there was one breakup in particular that I'm like, oh, you showed me your true colors. As soon as we broke up, like I saw it. And so I don't think that's psychotic of you to like go through that thought process.
Yeah, you have to imagine. And maybe not like in a relationship as much, but just like when you bring kids into it, you go, well, like hopefully this. I don't have plans for it, and I don't want that to happen. But you can't plan for everything, and so I just go, well, you seem like a decent, good person, and my friends are cute. Marry my friend.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure Adam isn't like this, but I was seeing someone who was like really sweet, had all these amazing qualities, broke up mostly because of circumstances. He wrote me the most vitriolic, like it was like shocking, the thing that he wrote me. And it was just like, I would have never predicted that from him. So you just really never know.
So
how
you
people
never
will take a
know.
breakup. You never know.
Be
You never
careful.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you can never tell. You also don't anticipate breaking up with somebody necessarily when you get in there. But it's sad. It's a loss. Unless they're an asshole, then you're like, thank God.
Like, whoa, dodge that bullet.
But do people do that sometimes? They turn all of like the positive feelings that you could have, even if something's over, to hate. They go, I'm gonna actually make you hate me. Why do they do that?
Yeah.
They can't help themselves.
Leighton, what is your relationship to fashion? Are you like a fashion girly? How do you feel about it?
I think I enjoy it. I think I enjoy it. Like, you know, it's kind of come full circle for me because when I started working when I was young, I didn't know anything. And suddenly I was like in this sort of fashionable show, which I felt that I had an opinion that carried through to my character that I appreciated like collaborating on. And it was very distinct, but I didn't know the first thing about like any of it, honestly, like not only style, but like designers or any of that. And suddenly I was like, I don't know anything, but I'm just going to have to go along with it. And that remains mostly true still. I just know what I like and what feels right. And then, you know, in recent years, I've enjoyed it in like a work environment. I think it does a lot on set for me to the final piece of a character to be like, you know, what you're wearing does make an impact on how you feel about a character and embodying somebody else. And at the same time, a lot of the time, this job is not glamorous at all. It's like there's porta potties and mud and like, they're like, your mark is laying on the cement. Go, that's where you're laying tonight, you know? And it's like late nights and you're wearing like layers, you're cold, you're hot, whatever. It's just not like always so glamorous. And then you go to like a fancy event or party or award show or whatever, and you're in a gown. And I actually kind of enjoy that, you know? It's like the moment to be glamorous, and it feels very, rewarding and just enjoyable. But also like heels that hurt are gone. Like I can't do that, you know. If I wear shoes that hurt, like it's my night is just everyone I talk to, I go, hi, nice, my feet hurt. You know, is like all night long. So just, you know, being able to breathe is good. You know, that's it.
What would you consider her most iconic? What do you think is Blair's most iconic outfit? Do you have one?
I don't know. I think the thing about her is that she wore headbands, and that was sort of like discussed early on as like her crown. You know, she's a queen. So that's like her accessory. But as far as outfits go, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think we did like reimagining of like some old Hollywood movies that were kind of fun, like My Fair Lady and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. You ever watch the show, Penn? Did you watch Gossip Girl?
Did I? Don't put me on blast like that.
Sorry.
No, of course. Have
you seen every bit of it?
No, definitely not. No, I stopped watching, I think pretty early on, you know, like probably second season, which is still, I mean, I've watched at least 30 or 40 episodes of it probably, right? Which is a lot. That's a lot of hours. And that's, you know, this isn't about me.
Have you watched it, Blair? Have you watched it, Leighton?
I haven't watched it recently. I think you like. I haven't seen it in probably you know a long time. I think to show like my stepson and it would be kind of interesting, maybe a little bit. Now that I really feel like a lot of time has passed and perspective, and it doesn't feel like it would be hard to watch. I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. No, well, it was on TV on like Wednesday nights or something.
Actual TV.
It was on
How do you
actual
even watch
TV.
actual
Like,
TV?
you have to,
You mean back in the day?
Yeah. And
yes.
so we would work during those times. So unless you were recording it, you'd miss it. And so I think at some point I just missed it and just never caught up.
You've never seen it, Leighton?
No, I've seen it. I just, I think like Penn, like I probably saw like a handful in the beginning, and then it just like timing-wise couldn't work.
It was just not easy to keep up on.
It wasn't streaming at the time.
Yeah.
And now, am I going to go do it? Eventually. I think I will someday.
It already does feel a little like vintage. The phones, the Blackberries, and like
just the way everything
screens.
looks.
Yeah. I bet you there's some vintage other stuff in there too.
Yeah, there is.
Vintage
There's a lot of
perspectives.
vintage stuff there.
Yeah.
Some vintage, baked in misogyny from woman to woman.
Storylines.
We won't torture you with too many more. I have two more. I don't know if Penn or Sophie do, but one is just what was your favorite, if you remember, what was your favorite Blair storyline? Blair had got up to some crazy things.
Let's see. I really liked, I more than storylines, I just liked working with certain people. I really liked it when my like girlfriends were there. So like Alice and Nicole and Amanda specifically. And then Susanna. Have you spoken to Susanna in any recent time?
No, I saw Amanda's brother like I want to say like just a few months ago.
Did you work with him?
No. I don't remember. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. No, I was thinking it was just on the street, but it was just on the street, but it was on set. It's funny how your worlds, you're like, which?
You're like,
was it a real street or?
Oh, but it was real street, but I was in fake clothes. Okay, yes, it was at work.
And he was like lighting. It was weird.
He just always holds a boom, right?
Yeah.
I really liked working with them.
Was it a nightmare when you had to do all the scenes with Penn? He's a diva on set.
Definitely not. I will say absolutely not. Penn, you were incredibly, and still are, very talented, very, I would say professional. Like, that's not even something that enters my mind. You were and are, but I just mean like that wasn't even like a thought. It was just more like you were just cool and good at it.
Thanks. Thank you.
He's like, please stop.
Yeah.
Stop this line of conversation.
No. I mean, I think I remember us working together, and I remember it being late in the game, wasn't it? Wasn't it late in the
Yeah,
whole?
they like matched us up later.
And I think we both were just like, all right.
Yeah.
That was my memory of like, yeah, cool.
Just another thing that happens on this show.
They're like, we had lots of other.
Nemesis.
And we, this is,
Like, it was bound to happen.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys are not going to give an exciting. I perceive you're not going to give an exciting answer to this, but I'm going to ask because this was my second question. We get this comment a lot, which is basically like a Blair or a Dan, or sometimes they refer to you by your real names, Leighton, Penn. Do you dare to dare? Do you guys know
Do
what
we
that
dare
is?
to dare? Right. We're just saying, do
Do you
we
dare to
ship dare? Do we which to be clear, is it, or do we like that relationship of our character the most?
Yeah.
Is that
It's
what
like, I
it
think
is?
people really want to know if
Yeah.
you guys like shipped, if you hoped that those two characters would have ended up together, I think is what people
No,
are
I don't
asking.
think so. I mean, I think it's safe to say that it's like, no. Yeah, I'm trying to think
safe
of
to
who.
say, you don't care.
Sorry, Leighton.
Well, no, but it's like, okay, so let me really think about the character if I'm invested in an outcome, and then I
think
think
about it.
like, I think he probably ended up with who he was meant to end up with. I mean, right? Like, it's just sort of, seems to me.
Yeah.
And then
it was a happy ending.
and then Blair. I was thinking like, who does she end up with? Yeah, I think she ended up with Chuck. I think they ended up with who they were really meant to be with. You know.
If I remember correctly, it's been.
But hold on, wait. I didn't let Leighton answer.
Oh, yeah, please.
No,
Let
I
her
think
speak.
you're right. Okay. You you saying Gossip Girl is dead? Wait, is that right?
yes.
Oh yeah, that clip is going viral.
Oh really?
Yeah, well, it's like a behind the scenes clip of Penn trying to say the line, but he
I-
can't, and he just
That is
keeps
on- that is
laughing.
on-
and
and
then
then I think
yeah,
out
Leighton,
there-
we can send it to you.
Leighton, and then you say grow up. It's so funny.
Oh no, don't. It was the funny.
No, it's so funny.
That
It took
is-
so long.
That is one of the funniest.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear you say it, honestly.
Right now.
Come on, give it to
I'm
us.
not giving
do
it.
it.
I'm not
Let's-
even giving
No,
us
give it to
that
us.
teaser because that would be.
Come on, Penn.
But here's the thing, Gossip Girl isn't dead. She's so well and alive.
This is the only thing
No, it's
she's
okay.
asked
She's
you
so
for.
alive and well, you know. And I don't want to kill her now. Like now, I wish her well. I absolutely wish her well. The reason it was so hard to say back then because I was like, I can't believe this is ending right now.
Really?
I literally was like, it's been so long and it's ending. And I was just like,
okay.
and I'm like, I wasn't even 26 yet. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, and I'm not even trying to say like, oh, I hated it, I want it off. No, it was just more like, it was like, wow, this thing that has defined my life more than anything I know how to defining life. Like it's ending and it, you know, like, maybe this is just the way I'm built, but like, I don't think I ever am sad to see things come to an end. I just don't think it's just not a part
No,
of my,
it's awful.
you know? And I just was like, this is rad. And I was, and because I was saying those words, I just thought I was like, this is too much. This is too.
I understand why it's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Let me explain it
It's
to you
such a-
more though.
Wait, so I'm sorry. So actually, were you happy or were you sad? Because
No, but
for
it
right- for a
transcends
second I
those
thought-
emotions is what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry, but
He
no,
was
just now
happy.
I guess I got confused because I was like, oh, yes, it was awful, but I didn't feel like it was awful. I just thought that it was so funny that you were saying that.
Yeah.
It's the most like absurd thing that you could possibly say.
Totally.
No, he said he
And-
was thinking, this is so rad that this is ending.
Okay. But you couldn't say it. And it was so funny. And the fact that I'm going to be able to potentially find this somewhere and
Oh, yeah.
We'll send it to
We'll
you.
send it to Penn. We'll
It's
send it to
probably
you.
real
that's
searchable.
so funny.
Everything is so searchable now.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like on the show. It would have been a blooper, I guess.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so funny and insane.
I know. I just
Yeah.
remember being like sweating. I was laughing so hard
Everyone
because I
was
just
dying.
it was too
It was
much.
just yeah.
What
There was
a line.
another time where I think Blake had to say something like "I killed someone" again, like
Oh, I remember this.
absurd, and
I remember hearing
couldn't.
about this because it was a scene with you guys.
Yeah. And
right.
you circle, full circle into like.
I'm sorry. It's just so funny that like these kids are meant to be 17 and they're like, they're killing people and they're getting people out of jail and they're like hiring and firing people. It's just,
And
I mean,
Chuck
come
is
on.
running
So
these
that's
like
why,
crazy clubs.
Like, I'm not even. This isn't like. This is not a fault of. This is not some kind of like denigration of the writers. Like they were creating, prime television of its time, and it was like that's what people wanted. Like, all good, all great, but it's so crazy. Like if you when you're the person or some of the few people who have to say the things to make them real. I mean, guys, come on, it's just crazy.
That's insane.
It's like so in that moment, you're saying like I killed so and so. In that moment, I think I was just like, it's just like the convergence of the many things and it feeling so meta is just like I can't. It's too So anyway,
yeah. It's also just like it was campy. It was
campy.
like silly and comedy, and like the show started out very differently than it ended, and then also went through many cycles of repeating some of the same stuff again and again. But the killing or that stuff is like absolutely. I mean, it's a whole show. It is absurd. It's like a 15-year-old being like at a bar, like I'll have the usual. So like we're already above and beyond weird. But that was such a highlight. The fact that like I think of it often that you
but I couldn't say it. Oh,
I get like I said grow up. I'm sure that it was like the 35th time too.
No, because it literally because everybody was it was really funny, and then it got to a point where I was like, oh my god, I can't say it. I actually something's happening. Like, and now I actually can't say it.
What would have happened if you couldn't say it? Because you kind of couldn't. I don't think you did. I think you were just like,
what? I would watch that.
At some point, he says, like, I think you got it. But, like, clearly he barely made it to the end.
I'm so excited to have this.
He's like, it's in there.
That must be in the last episode, right? I think maybe
it was in
episode.
one of the last thing.
I've been looking for some clips from Podcrushed for something, and I looked in our episode with Conan O'Brien. He talked about watching Gossip Girl. He watches with his kids, or watched. And he said one of his favorite things was how it's like 15-year-olds like buying and selling stock for, or like being like being the heir to their father's
your time of Bass
company,
Industries is
taking over.
through. To a 45-year-old man. Like, pull the jet up.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, I think we are to our final question. Because we asked you it before, I wonder, would we want to ask Leighton what advice her 12-year-old self would give her now? Or do we want to stick to?
That's right. We had a few
question?
ideas. No, but I like that. What do you think your 12-year-old self might have to say to you now?
I would probably have more questions than advice, but also I think I just
We haven't baked that question as long. It's maybe a hard one to answer.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, I would probably be like, grow up. But
yeah, which is a fair
you'd probably
point.
be like, you didn't ever grow up. You didn't ever mature. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like I am me at 12, like I've become more that in recent times. As much as I was maybe in a hurry or pressured to, or felt the need to be more grown up and more together, now I'm like, oh no, I really was like, I was so strong and, capable, and I was good enough, and I think that it's not something that I really grew into. I think it was just like, the only thing that I've grown into is like realizing it and accepting that like maybe I was always pretty strong, but but very connected to my feelings, which I think is synonymous to me as being strong, being vulnerable.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
Leighton, it's always so nice to talk to you.
Same, you guys. I really needed that. I was cackling. I'm like sweating. I'm laughing.
I know, I'm actually sweating too.
Oh, so good.
And here we are, as they say.
Who says that?
There are people. There are people. I feel like it's on. I feel like I've seen it everywhere now. It's been co-opted by the forces of the co-op.
Here we are.
You know, co-opt, not co-op. There's a huge difference between co-op and co-opt. Consider.
As it turns out.
It's a huge. God, I'm like a professor. Like a professor in the inane, the mundane, and the banal. Okay, so at the end of this crushed pod, how are you feeling?
I wish we were together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, that makes 3 of us. See, I was authentic. I was authentic for the last one. I was joking, but serious when I feel like all of our friendships now will become a little bit more authentic because we don't have to do the podcast host thing, which is
the
like
roasting.
I'm gonna roast you. I get it. Yeah. We definitely made it our thing, not our thing, because that's what I think everybody has to do to a degree, and it is fun. I do see the purpose that it serves, but we had to learn how to do that.
It's true, and learn what each other's like, what goes, what doesn't go. I don't think we explicitly ever said like, don't talk to me about that thing. But yeah, I feel like it was a learning process of like, how far can we push each other?
Just how much of a third wheel can we make Sophie, et cetera, et cetera. Like just how much we got David out right away.
Just no 4 wheels on this vehicle. We want a bicycle.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Nava?
Yeah, I wish we were together. I'm sad that we're not. I'm feeling curious. Like Podcrushed has been such a big part of my life for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm like, what is life without it? So I'm trying not to feel that in a sad way. I'm trying to feel that in a curious way.
How about you, Penn?
Yeah.
Ecstatic, gleeful.
You're not going to get this one.
He's been dancing more every day.
Yeah.
Like it's over. Woo! Yeah.
Well, if anybody knows me, I love nothing more than like a canceled appointment, just because then it frees. I'm like, oh, that hour and a half chunk that I was gonna have busy, I don't. And so I don't. I tend to see the end of things as like a really exciting curiosity, kind of as you were saying, Nava. There's always a bittersweetness. There's always a poignancy, right? And this one is surreal because this really has taken up this has been our thing for way more than we could have anticipated, any of us. This has just become like what we do. You know what I mean? It's like and it's had to be a labor of love because it's just been. It's been enough work that it has to have been a labor of love, and then we wrote that book. We wrote that book.
That is crazy. I actually forgot about it for a second.
That was crazy. I mean, that's really what pushed it into a space where it's like, I cannot remember a time where Podcrushed was not the dominant force in my life. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's that. You know, what would we have been doing? I don't know. And I'm glad that we did. And now it's like, and now as Nava said, I'm like, the bandwidth that should. Now be open to us all is crazy. We gotta produce, gotta be productive.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure to capitulate.
Oh, I was just gonna say it'll all come to light in the next few months. What are we gonna do? Maybe
You guys are gonna be
nothing.
raising.
Well, you're gonna have another
raising
baby.
your tribes. Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm curious. We got this question a lot when people were when we had Q&As, and now that it's all said and done, what was your favorite episode?
It really is hard to name one. But like a child, there's definitely one. There is definitely
A favorite one? You mean you have a favorite
yeah.
child?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the boring, dumb answer and a non-answer, as you guys like to accuse me of always having. I think Michael Carlberg. Every time I try to say
I
his
know.
name, it's like
So hard.
It's Michael Carlberg. Michael Carlberg. Michael Carlberg, my favorite guy ever. No, but I think because it's like, the number of times I got chills just thinking of. I felt grateful and excited to be trying to share, what this kind of information we were exploring with him, this kind of idea, the coming of age of humanity and how helpful that can be. I think I just got really excited for the essence of what anyone is doing with a podcast is trying to share something that could be meaningful and kind of elevate someone's spirits. I mean, anybody I think would probably be able to boil down hosting a podcast to that, and to inspire or encourage. And I really felt that. Whether or not anybody listens to that particular episode and that particular interview is only time will show us the numbers. And we've got them, and they're low.
I have faith in our listeners that they will be able to listen to someone they don't know the name of.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, our listeners who are here for us every week, that's a different class of people.
Yeah, it's true.
That's high class.
It's a better class is what he's saying. Yeah. I always cheat. Penn, you didn't give a non-answer. You gave a real answer. I tend to give
But he
two
gave
answers.
an answer of the only episode he remembers, which is the last episode.
It's what just happened just a little bit ago.
Yeah. That's amazing. I usually give two answers, and I'm going to end in classic form. I'm going to give two because I have two. For me, I the favorite episode has to go hand in hand with favorite taping experience, and that's going to be a live one.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Ariana Grande.
Rob Lowe?
Ariana Grande, because she was so. I mean, it was her. That's why it was my favorite. It was who she was as a human and getting to experience that. And then the women's roundtable for you, because so much thought and preparation went into it. And I thought it came together so beautifully. And I truly love your co-stars. They're some of the greatest women in the world. And it was just, there's so much love and energy and friendship and filming the TikToks. It was that's my favorite recording day. It was so fun. So those are my two favorites.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one. I'll piggyback that one. No, because seriously,
Ben is
as a recording
remembering the
day,
episode as they are named.
I'm oh yeah, we did. No, that was a great. I mean, if we are talking about recording days, I think that's almost like an objective truth, that one, because it was so many people, and it was a good time.
It's true. In person is always the best. So I'm actually going to give two as well. Because when I was thinking of mine, my favorite episode was not an in-person one, but I was struggling with that. So I'll give two as well. In person, I think my favorite was Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. So funny and so epic to be able to meet him, to talk to him, and he was so lovely. And then favorite episode in general, I think, is Riz Ahmed. I thought it was meaningful. We talked a lot about spirituality, but he was funny, and learning about his upbringing was also really interesting, the daytimer parties, and he was just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was extremely charming.
Yeah.
He was just your crush, but then he became our crush. He became this pod's crush.
We've had so many. I can't, when people ask you on the side, who was your least favorite guest or whatever, I can only think of two times that I felt a little bit uncomfortable by a guest. I'm not going to say who, but we've recorded 120 episodes or something. So to only have felt a little uncomfortable twice out of 120 experiences or whatever the number is, I think is amazing. We had such great people come on the show. I'm so grateful for that.
Was it the two host AMAs that we did?
Yeah. I felt really uncomfortable with the guests. The two guests.
There was no buffer for the first time.
Yeah.
We had a guest once named Penn, and the other was Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie. Yeah.
Sophie. Yeah, not ringing a bell yet, but it'll probably come.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll circle back to the first question. How are you feeling? I'm feeling grateful that we had this experience for the last 4 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Guys, by no shadow of a doubt whatsoever, and especially because of the book. The book was crazy, but I mean, we are best-selling published authors.
That's insane.
Who would have guessed?
It is literally insane.
Yeah.
I sent Penn a video the other day and I saw the Crushmore book that's on my shelf.
Oh, that's right.
And she was like, Uncle Penn. And I was like, who else is on there? And she was like, Uncle Penn. I was like, what? I only birthed
That's
you.
right. And actually, you both took it personally because Nav was like, oh, and you, her mother, you're like, oh, she can't point to me in a picture. What you say in the video is you're like, even my daughter won't recognize that I'm a published author. It is funny. It is funny. Maybe Anais is that commenter.
The one that's like, let him speak. It's just been Anais this whole time. Let him speak.
Uncle Ben.
So funny. Yeah, no, I'm so grateful to both of you. I mean, Penn for being part of the project, and it would have never been a thing, you know. For both of you, it never would have been a thing without either of you. And Nava for bringing me in those like early weeks, even before Penn.
Hey, she brought you in first.
Yeah.
She brought David
I'll
in
never
before
forget
me.
that. Yeah, she's since become, more savvy, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's been so fun.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, it really has been.
Yeah. So should we announce our next podcast?
Yes, it's called Every Day with Leighton Meester. And we just give the fans what they want 100% of the time.
Yeah. Once in a while it's Adam Brody. Once in a while we let him.
Yeah. It's mostly just a Gossip Girl rewatch, some Vampire Diaries, maybe some One Tree Hill.
Pen's
That
favorite.
podcast, we would all be millionaires if we made that podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Penn, if you could start a podcast and you didn't have to think about numbers, you didn't have to think about
And nothing, yeah.
it's just what you want to talk about on a week-to-week basis, what would the topic be?
Well, like Nava, I'm going to give two answers. Okay, 'cause this one comes to mind real fast.
Yeah. Really?
And so if it's just interview based,
Could be.
I think I would interview neurobiologists and people who are on the forefront of studying consciousness. And because that's really interesting to me. I mean, full disclosure, of course, it's because I have a profound belief and experience of God as the, that there is this divine source and nature to us and reality, so that there is a profound meaning and purpose, and that we're all here discovering that together at this very important time on planet Earth. And then, there's something about like just the forefront of physics is starting to question itself and the assumptions that it's made, which are philosophical assumptions and beliefs that have no basis in rigorous scientific inquiry, And so I actually would really love to just like get into some, not debate, because I don't really believe in debate. That's sort of where, if it devolves into yes or no, right or wrong, then that's where truth often gets obscured. But I would really love to just like ask questions and somehow, if that could be, like if somehow there could be, if every person in the front of physics was that part of physics where they're starting to, the math apparently is starting to show us that there's no longer a logical assumption that consciousness arises from matter, that consciousness is probably more fundamental to reality than
Penn,
space
you're not
and time.
starting the podcast today, though. Just to,
No, I think this is where we're
Just to
segueing
clarify.
right into it right now. I get it.
We're going to use the same
But that's it.
feed.
But that's it. It's like, and if every person studying that could be like, oh, have you been on the Podcrushed? Brain crushed.
yeah.
The brain pod. If that was like the smart list of the
Podsciousness.
Yeah. We can workshop this
We're
one.
workshopping it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's harder to say than Michael Carl.
I just want to say his name is quite easy to say. Michael Carlberg.
I know.
It's so hard
There's
for me.
certain
Carlberg.
There's certain.
Yeah, but Michael Carlberg in one, like to say it
You
fast.
said it.
You just did
You
it.
did it.
Yeah,
So
you
I
did
did.
it.
That's the first time I've done
Penn's
it.
like it's like he's swallowing marbles while he's saying
I have.
it.
I can't. There's certain
Carlberg.
consonants that are hard for me.
No, I find I've had the same issue.
And that I was only part
Yeah,
one of
what's
my
your
answer.
second answer? But speedier.
We're not worried about numbers now. It would just be like the Radiolab version of that, where it would be journalistic and edited and a lot of work.
So the same
I mean,
podcast, just in two different formats.
yeah, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about you, Sophie?
Because format isn't,
If you could keep a podcast going.
Before we ever started this podcast, you guys know Sahba Rohani. She's a friend of ours from New York. She and I worked together.
well, now Arizona.
Yeah, now Arizona. But we met in New York and we worked. She got me a job at the school that I taught at. And she and I really wanted to start a podcast. I wouldn't be part of it, but I would help her start it with this kid who is in our neighborhood. His name's Jaquan. And he would just be like telling her the different slang that was like, coming up. And her reactions were so funny.
Wait, I think I know Jaquan.
You probably
Don't I know
do,
Jaquan?
yeah, from Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
And we wanted to start a podcast called Teach Gets Taught. And it would be the two of them. And he's just trying to like keep her up
is
to
cute.
date. I would love to
that.
start that. Yeah.
That's adorable.
How about you, Neva?
I was just at this weekend retreat in Arizona with like people of different faiths. And one of the exercises we had to do was like, you had to tell your faith story. It was kind of like testimony or witnessing in Christianity, which we don't do in the Baha'i faith, or at least not in the US as far as I'm aware. I don't know what other communities are doing, but it's like, oh, it's really, I understand why Christians do it. Like, it's so moving. It's so moving to hear someone else's story. It's really moving to hear yours. And in the exercise, you would tell it and then someone would tell it back to you. And they would like...
Wait, you're telling what? You're telling your
faith story. I think it's bearing witness, but you would tell it as a story, not like my whole life trajectory, but like a moment that exemplifies your faith story. And it was like Jainists, Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Jews, Muslims. Everyone was doing it in this space, and it was so moving. We had to do it 3 times, and every time we were like, we have to do it again. And every time we
3
cried,
times.
every time you like pulled something new out. And so I would love a podcast where people are just like telling their faith story.
Interesting.
And it was just it was like more moving than I could have expected. And honestly, hearing someone tell your story back to you and like what they pull out of it that you didn't notice yourself, it was like incredible. I would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next podcast, seriously, because if you combine my idea with your idea and leave Sophie out, I actually think we have something.
Okay, what about... No, your idea gave me another idea. What about birth stories?
Yeah, that's what
How
you
does
should go
that
with
tie into
Domino.
Domino has been trying to get me.
Domino
Domino has been
bring
trying to.
Domino
Yeah,
in.
me and Domino.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You guys should start a podcast. Yeah.
Domino is always wanting me to start a podcast or produce a documentary about something birth oriented, and I'm like, I love the idea, but baby, you see how much work this is. You see how much work this is. Why? We have more children now. We have more
So
children.
Sophie's going to do
Also
it.
just-
Sophie, you
Yeah,
produce
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry.
great.
about it.
Side note, guys, Domino is rationally, consciously, repeatedly, which shows like it's intellect and not just feeling. She keeps talking about having another child. You both just made the same.
What?
You both just made the same face. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Isn't that? It's
Wow.
Oh, people
crazy.
do it all the time. People have
yeah.
6, 7,
Hundreds
8
of years ago, they
kids.
did. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can count.
any
So.
number.
Any one of those.
That's amazing. Wow.
Oh. Well, we'll see. Father Abraham, and if you get to 7, you're officially Father Abraham.
The first episode of the
brings us back
podcast will just
to-
be her birth.
Exactly.
Okay, if there's one thing, because the truth is, anybody who's still with us right now, they just want more. You know what I mean? They're weeping.
It's like he's just talking about
They're-
wrapping it up. It
they're-
sounds like he's going to ask us another
They're
question.
weeping. Okay, if there's one word,
Okay.
does that work?
Yeah, one
Maybe 14 words. That was
It's impossible
Yeah.
for you to do one.
Okay, in 3.5 paragraphs, give me. Yeah, if there's one word you're feeling now that would represent how Podcrushed impacted your thinking or feeling? Both.
Non-judgmental. Like, I feel like from a distance, I have had like judgments on different celebrities, some who actually came on the show, just like people in general who are in that status. And what I found was like everyone was, just like so much more kind, like thoughtful, intelligent. Like I had
So
a stereotype in my mind about celebrities. And then when I've met them, it's always been different.
It's a good answer now.
Yeah. So
really
non-judgmental, like don't judge people.
Yeah.
You really don't know people's stories. At least talk to them and give them a chance before you form a judgment. That's what Podcrushed has left me with.
That's a really good one. We almost maybe shouldn't
I think
say
let's
anything.
just end there. Yeah. That was perfect. As always, Nava sums it up.
Who was going to wrap it up but Nav's cat?
Everyone has a story. And
Everyone has a story.
Important.
You know who else has a story worth telling? And in fact, you know who else has a last question worth answering? Is you, dear listener. What would you tell yourself at 12 years old?
Podcrushed is hosted by Penn Badgley, Nava Kavalin, and Sophie Ansari. Our senior producer is David Ansari, and our editing is done by Clips Agency. Special thanks to the folks at Lemonada. And as always, you can listen to Podcrushed ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. Okay, that's all. Bye.